Remember earlier we talked about omnipresence in last week. That's the idea that you want to be everywhere, not only because you don't have time to, but like we physically cannot be everywhere, right? This is the way to get in front of your audience and to have that omnipresence where you are appearing to be everywhere, but in front of the right people.
And that takes us into retargeting. And retargeting is huge because retargeting is how you follow up. Everything is always about the follow up. And without retargeting, you shouldn't even be running ads if you can't retarget them. All right. So retargeting is critical. And what it is custom audiences are like your besties who already know and love you. And these are the folks who already interacted with your brand before and who love your brand. And it's time to remind them why they're awesome for sticking around. How we utilize the retargeting, we can upload our customer lists. We can also retarget website visitors with the Meta Pixel, or we can gather data from your engagement on your content. So Meta connects the dots to create an audience ready for some friendly follow-ups. And here is just a snapshot of how we would retarget, but I'm going to just dive into the actual ad manager and show you where you would retarget. And I'm going to just open up a new fresh one so you guys don't get confused. And here is where we would retarget. So we come down to custom audiences and we click custom audience, and then we get to choose our sources. What sources do we want to follow up on? Do we want to follow up with people who visited our website? Yes. Do we want to follow up with people who visited our Instagram account or who visited our Facebook page? And so here you get to choose your source, and it's very important. This is how we extract from the cold funnel into our warm funnel. And the way that we do this is by looking at the metrics and understanding who was interested in our ad. So if on the top of funnel we showed an ad and a person clicked through, they went to our website, we know that person is really interested in what we have to offer because we showed this ad to 10,000 people and 100 people click through. And so we want to bring them more into our ecosystem and closer to conversions. And the way that we do that is by retargeting. And so we choose our sources, which is going to be the website because they landed on our website from an ad. And the event is really cool. You can choose all website visitors. You can choose people who visited specific web pages. We can also choose visitors by time spent. And for right now, what we're going to choose is all website visitors. And then you can actually go back up to 180 days. And what this is going to do is this is going to show people another ad, your warm ad of all the folks who visited your website 180 days. Okay. And this is critical just because, like I said, these are the warm people. If they landed on your website, they were interested. So we'll go ahead and name this website visitors and then 180, and then we'll go ahead and create this audience. And then the cool thing is when you create a custom audience, you also can create a lookalike audience. And just for the sake of time, I'm not going to get into, we do talk about the lookalike audience a little bit later, but this is where you can actually create a lookalike audience of your custom audience. So it would be a lookalike of people who visited your website. And this is critical because you can use this lookalike audience as a cold audience since technically they never interacted with your brand. They just look like people who have. So this is really good because you need to build your audiences up. And then here, this is how your middle of funnel is going to look, website visitors. So we want to include website visitors here, and then we want to create another custom audience because the people who also engage with our Instagram account from our ad are also interested people. So right here, I'm just going to choose one of these, and you can also drop down from the event tab people who started following this professional account, people who engage with this professional account, people who visited, people who engage with any post or ad, people who sent a message to this professional account, and people who save any post or ad. So for most of you, this may be your first time retargeting. And believe it or not, it works like a chocolate fondue set. So you have to have traffic in your cold in order to be able to efficiently use your middle of funnel. So we always want to start off with just people who engage with this professional account. This encompasses all of these other ones. And then so we'll click here for people who stay on Facebook. Look at this. Facebook prioritizes if you keep them on Facebook. So if your audience retention is not 180 days like it was on the website because you're taking them to off of Facebook, now it's 365 days. So we'll name this audience Instagram Engagers 365, and then we'll create this audience. And then here you get to create a lookalike audience. Again, this is going to be a lookalike audience of all the people who have engaged with your Instagram account. And this will fall into your top of funnel because it is a cold audience. So we'll hit done. And then the last one that we want to create, create custom audience, are going to be our Facebook page engagers. So if we have ran an ad, people see the ad, they come to our Facebook page, they engage with our Facebook page, and we want to retarget those people. Again, the audience retention 365 because we're keeping people on Facebook, and that's what Facebook really likes. And we're going to name this Facebook page and 365. We'll create audience. And then I'm also going to create a lookalike audience because that's the next audience we're going to talk about. And this is a lookalike audience of our Facebook page engagers. So we can choose a location. Let's keep it in the United States. And then the audience size, you can go all the way up to 10%, but right now we're just going to choose 1%. And so this is really crucial because, like I said, the half of the game is getting to your ideal target audience. And this helps you because now what Facebook is doing, just off of a small sample size of people who visited your Facebook page or your website or your Instagram, they're able to find 3 million people who look just like the people who engage with your Facebook page. Okay. And then you can create audience. So this is a cold audience, and we can use this inside of your top of funnel. So when you create from here, it's going to include it in this bucket. But remember, this bucket is really, we're going to title this is going to be middle of funnel, MOF, so we don't get confused. And middle of funnel is warm people only. So this lookalike is a cold audience. So we want to take this out, but at least we built it, and then we can incorporate it inside of a top of funnel. So this is what your middle of funnel should look like right here.
And again, everything we're doing live, you are going to have not just this recording is going to be uploaded in the replay in the portal, but you have very short snippets of what we call SOPs. So instead of like a typical course that you would go through and watch all of these long videos, we have short bite-sized clip videos that we've done in real time of the setup for each and every one of these. So how to create my Instagram audience, how to create my website, just like what Chris did here. He's just showing, but you're going to have that at your disposal in the portal.